Hello boys and girls. So the huge breaking news today is that Mesut Ozil is finally leaving Arsenal. 7.5 years at the club. David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, they've all been reporting it. The deal has been done for him to go to Fenerbahce. His contract with Arsenal will be terminated and he will be able to move to Turkey over the course of the weekend. And there's kind of mixed emotions from a lot of people with this. There's kind of, you know, the side where they stick by Mesut Ozil through absolutely everything. They can't see any bad, you know, in what Mesut does in any way, shape or form. Then you've got the other side, which is where I'm sitting, that appreciate what Mesut Ozil has done for the football club. That's not going to sit there and rip into him and try and dismiss what he's done whilst he's here. But I'm also not stupid enough to realise that he hasn't made mistakes and it's ended on a really, really sour note. And this is the best thing for this football club. It's the best thing for Mesut Ozil. And of course, it's the best thing for Arsenal, like I was saying. And it's 7.5 years. That's a long time, you know. And when you think that Mesut Ozil signed for Arsenal in the 13-14 season, and if you remember the absolute scenes when it was announced that he was signed. And I remember waking up on deadline day thinking, oh, here we go again, Arsenal. What rubbish is going to come through the door? What, you know, bargain basement deal we're going to try and scrape through at the last minute. And then Mesut Ozil was being mentioned. And I was like, nah, there's no way we're getting Mesut Ozil from Real Madrid. You know, if you looked at him when he was playing for Real Madrid and what he was doing with the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, no chance, not in your wildest dreams were you thinking that we were going to sign Mesut Ozil. And then bang, before we knew it, before the deadline, late in the evening, it was announced that Mesut Ozil was an Arsenal player. And the scenes outside the Emirates, it was just absolute madness. I don't think you will ever see scenes like that for a signing again. Just unbelievable. And then you went into his very first game, travelled all the way up to the northeast, Sunderland, and very quickly brings the ball down out of the sky, lays it across. Olivier Giroud pokes it in, and we were like, an assist already. Here he goes. This guy has just got the vision. And you know what? He could have probably walked away from that game with 3 or 4 assists. Theo Walcott was the biggest culprit in that game. And that's kind of the story of a lot of his career at Arsenal. That players around Mesut Ozil in the earlier period and when he had his peak years failed him, to be honest with you. We all know the season when he nearly broke Thierry Henry's assist record before Christmas. Olivier Giroud went about 17-18 games without goals, and it wasn't just him, it was other players as well. Mesut's always created chances right up to the present day, not as much as what he did, and there was always that kind of, you know, body language that always got people, you know, wondering. But when you look at some of the things that were said over recent weeks about Mesut Ozil, and it's very evident that he was able to do what he wanted to do when, you know, he was playing under Arsene Wenger. He was Mesut Ozil. He was the superstar. He was the guy, you know, that was playing based on his name. And he didn't really have to go and exert himself to, you know, levels that some others had to do to get his place within the squad and the starting 11. And that was kind of highlighted by, you know, when we were playing certain away matches that he had problems. And there's been reports over the last couple of weeks from a few journalists that were close to Mesut Ozil that were saying that he used to pick and choose his games that he wanted to play. And he used to have this issue with his back, and then the doctors would check on him and they could never find anything wrong with him. And then we would have a home game and he was able to play. And then obviously Unai Emery came in, and that was the first manager that actually called out Mesut Ozil and, you know, wasn't going to put him in the team based on reputation. He was going to put him in the team based on performances and how he trains. And that one, yeah, turned sour very, very quickly. And it was a standoff between Ozil and Emery, and Ozil won. And then Freddie Ljungberg came in as an interim manager and he done the same thing. Wouldn't put him in the team. And this is a guy that was there throughout all of this time as well and knows what's going on the training field and everything. So he got him out. Then Mikel Arteta came in. He was a part of his squad. He was a former teammate of Mikel Arteta. Remember that as well. We then go into the break of COVID and everything else. And then lo and behold, it looks like Mesut Ozil has fallen back into his old ways. He's not performing or training how Mikel wants him to do. And he's out of the squad. And Mikel has been adamant all along. It's footballing reasons. There's the conspiracy theories that it's because of his comments to do with China. He played 12 games after he made those comments. So I don't actually think it's to do with that. And it's kind of finished with a standoff between Mesut and Arteta. And it's Mesut Ozil that's now going, not the manager. But like I said, those are kind of the basis of everything. I'll quickly get into his stats and his time at Arsenal. In the Premier League, he's made 184 appearances. He scored 33 goals and he has 54 assists. During those 184 appearances, we have won 100 matches and lost 39. Now, in all competition for Arsenal, 254 appearances, 44 goals and 77 assists. You're talking about some of the most memorable moments for me. It was probably the goal against Ludogorets away, Champions League, last minute, sent through, one-on-one with the keeper, dinks it over his head, two defenders come rushing across, does a little body check, leaves two on their backsides and slides it into the empty net. And to say that I was there and witnessed that, just unbelievable, to be honest with you. So many good moments and memories. I remember an assist that he did for Olivier Giroud once. I can't remember who we were playing. I think it may have been Aston Villa. I'm not 100% sure. But the ball was played into him around the halfway line. And he just done this audacious back flick and sent Olivier Giroud through one-on-one with the keeper. Just breathtaking. There was a moment at Anfield where the ball came over his head and he had absolutely no right to control this ball. And he just brought it down. And it was like a bag of sand in the fact that it just dropped dead. Boom. There. At his feet. He was the master with the ball at his feet. And I've seen some people talking about he had no technical ability. Are you actually mad? No technical ability. I think that he will always be remembered for what is now known as the Ozil bounce. You go one-on-one with a goalkeeper and he shoots the ball into the floor, which then lifts it and puts spin on it. Like, to have the audacity to even attempt that in those moments, it's not luck the amount of times he's done it. It's very clear what he does. When you're going against the goalkeeper, their natural reaction is to go down. And he holds himself that long to the moment the keeper is going down. And he literally chops on the ball and it spins over the goalkeeper. And the most memorable one for me would be Liverpool at the Emirates when we were 2-0 down. And within the space of 4.5 minutes, we were 3-2 up. And Mesut Ozil scored the third goal to put us 3-2 up. And Lacazette backheeled it, put Ozil in. And he'd done that bounce over the keeper. And it was just unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable scenes. And I just remember those moments. You remember the game against Leicester? Last seconds, Mesut Ozil standing over the ball. Whips that cross in. Danny Welbeck. Absolute pandemonium inside the Emirates. Just like I was saying, I want to try and remember those good moments, those good times, because there was a period around 2016-17 with Alexis Sanchez, where Mesut Ozil was in his prime. He was world class. Nobody could get near Mesut Ozil at that period. And then I feel that it all went downhill once Alexis left, to be honest with you. And bringing in the likes of Lacazette and Aubameyang, it was all too little too late. It was just after the period that it should have been. If we would have had an Aubameyang at the same time we had Mesut Ozil and Alexis, then in that 15-16 season we would have won a league. It wouldn't have been Leicester. I'm telling you that now. But yeah, look, his time is done at Arsenal, like I was saying. And I'm not going to sit here and, you know, criticise and try and downplay and degrade his time at the club, because he gave us some unbelievable moments. You know, one of the greatest players in the, you know, Emirates era. I still think the likes of Alexis Sanchez, despite how he left, what he did on a pitch was unreal. And there's some other players that you can mention in those times, but he will definitely go up there. I don't think he goes down as an Arsenal legend in that respect. Not up there with the greats of Henry and Bergkamp and players like that. But you can definitely look on, you know, a lot of his career at the club, 4 or 5 years, where you can say you're proud that he played for this football club. And if you can't, then you're lying to yourself. And I'm going to be straight about it. You're lying to yourself. So yeah, I can't say no more than that. I wish him luck in his new venture in Turkey, going to Fenerbahce. And yeah, like I was saying, I remember those good times, the 4 or 5 years. Despite how sour it got in the last 2, he still gave some great moments and some great memories at this football club, and helped us, you know, break that trophy drought. And he leaves with 4 FA Cups. So I can't do anything but thank him for the memories he's given me personally. I've got some great moments and great memories. And the time that I met him as well recently, he was unbelievable. As a person, so nice. And when he was talking to my son, I can't speak highly enough in that respect of how he treated me that day and my son and everything else. Unbelievable. And that kind of memory will stick with my son forever. You know, Mesut won't ever remember who I am or my son is, but my son and me will always remember that moment and look at it and say, you know what, that's a moment that we can take away for life. So yeah, Mesut Ozil is on his way. He is leaving Arsenal. It's done. It's dusted. The longest running drama, saga, whatever you want to call it, is finally going to be over this weekend. And he's on his way to Fenerbahce. And it's good news for Arsenal because they're going to free up 350 odd grand a week in wages. I don't know what the ins and outs of this deal is, the termination, whether they got to do a payoff, or from what I'm hearing, that there's not going to be a payoff and Ozil's just going to agree to the termination and go on, you know, with his career. And that's beneficial to Arsenal because, you know, we're going to save quite a bit of money there. And that money may now go on something, you know, very important in the next couple of weeks that we've got left in this window. So brilliant news all round. And Mesut Ozil, thanks for the memories. But yep, it is now time to say goodbye. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.